Welcome. We are back another day in the market. Pretty interesting day, pretty choppy. Looks like we closed green across the board, but we had a gap up in the morning, so you kind of gapped up, everything was pretty green, and then you really were just chopping around for the majority of the day, and then you had a nice little rise into the close. But pretty strong day regardless for the market. We'll get into everything with stocks, starting off with crypto. Let's see, audio looks good. So yeah, crypto, I think I had a green day today. Bitcoin was up a little bit. Litecoin was up like 5% today. That was nice. So yeah, just an update on how the crypto swings are doing. Bitcoin's up about 10% since the entry. Litecoin 18%. Let me skip that song. Chainlink 9%. Looks like it pulled back quite a bit. It was up 15%. And then finally OXT 19% since the entry. So pretty strong across the board for the crypto trades. Saw Pleberate, Kaleidoscope, and Maxime. Apart from those, Ethereum also had a nice day. It was up 4%, approaching this little resistance around 3,300 to 3,400. And then OMI, you know, it's just still in that range. Honestly, you could also try this in OMI. Not too much to give an update on technicals wise. Probably until it breaks out of this range to either direction, but you could chart this little triangle inside the range and see what happens. Maybe make that white so it doesn't blend in with the rectangle. All right, what's up, Josh? Good thing I randomly got on YouTube, thought you said 8:30. It is 8:30 EST. I don't know if I read that wrong, but that's really it for crypto. Tomorrow morning, let me switch over to the other overlay. All right, over here. So tomorrow morning we have CPI numbers. So it looks like expectations are around 7.2%. It's going to be reported tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. ET. It's expected to show an increase of 0.4%, a slower increase than December's, but a year-over-year forecast of 7.2%. It's going to be the highest since 1982. If we take a look at this chart over here, you can see how, you know, really we get a lot of deflation, it looks like, after the Great Recession. Then we were pretty steady from like 2010 to 2020, that decade right there, and really hot again. I mean, May of 2020, we were at 0.1%. Now we're at 7%. So highest level, we're already at our highest levels since the 90s, but tomorrow we could be at our highest level since over here back in the 80s. So we'll see what happens. Core inflation excluding food and energy is expected to rise 0.4% or 5.9% year over year, according to Dow Jones. So we'll see if those numbers are as hot as a lot of analysts think they are going to be tomorrow. If you get, you know, 0.1, 0.2, I don't know about 0.3 underestimates tomorrow morning, you could have a nice little bounce off that. If you meet expectations, who knows? And if we come in at 7.3, 7.4, we'll see what happens. But let me see, when was the last CPI? Does anybody know when the last CPI was reported? I'm trying to see, because I believe it met expectations. The last time we had CPI numbers, like it was exactly on the dot what everybody was thinking it was going to be. And I want to go back to that date and see how the market reacted, which I think was like last month. Let's see, CPI December 2021, January 12th. I think it was January 12th when that report came out. So we're gonna go back to the charts and see what January 12th looked like. All right. And the following days after. So that probably was a Thursday as well, I don't know. Let's head on over to the S&P 500 and January 12th. All right, so last time we had CPI numbers that met expectations was literally the top before an official correction in the S&P 500. So that is a little bit scary going into tomorrow, that the last time we had these numbers come out, it's not like we even were like super hot. I mean, we are super hot with inflation, but it wasn't hotter than expected. It was just as expected. And the day after, I mean, the same day, I think we were like flat pretty much. But then the following day, you sold off over 1% on the S&P, and then you just kept selling off for a while. So we've started bouncing back, and now we have CPI numbers again tomorrow morning. Let's get into the technicals for the market and see what's going on there. So if you watched last night's stream, I told you all that we were looking pretty good. I said the only thing that really concerned me about the market was if, and only if, the S&P can't break above this high from February 2nd, which now we're getting really, really close to it. So if we can break above that high, that'll be able to invalidate the potential head and shoulders for the time being. And like I said last night, this really doesn't matter until you sell all the way back down over here. So it's not even like we should be worrying about it right now, but even just breaking above that previous high helps to invalidate it even further, which is exactly what we want to see. But if you went to last night's stream, I told you that we were going to be opening today at a very large make or break area. We were opening at some very important levels, and guess what? We gapped over all of the important levels, which was beautiful. So this is where we closed yesterday on the S&P. We had this inverse head and shoulders. We were testing the resistance. On the Russell 2000 yesterday, we closed right over here, testing the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders. And boom, we just gapped over all. That's like the most perfect scenario. Whenever you're closing into a make or break area, to gap up the next day is exactly what you want, because one, you're just flying above your resistance. You don't even have to like bite your nails watching it test the resistance intraday. You're already above it by the time you wake up, if you wake up late like me. But the other good part about gapping over resistances in the morning is that if you do decide to fill your gap, you're just back testing the resistance that you broke out of. So it just increases your chance of finding support even if you do sell off to fill the gap, which we did not today. So if inflation is hotter than expected tomorrow morning and we start falling back under these levels that we just broke above, the quickest and easiest trade I'll be looking for is puts down to the gap fill from today on all the indices. That's only if we start showing some bearish technicals, maybe around 9:45, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're not already like dumping or something after the CPI numbers. But I have to see what the market looks like tomorrow. But what I'm going to do for the next 10 minutes, we're going to pretend that there isn't CPI numbers tomorrow, because otherwise I'm just going to keep saying, but you have to remember CPI numbers. I don't want to keep saying that every single time I say something good about how the chart's looking. So just remember that we have CPI numbers tomorrow, and I can override everything I'm about to talk about. But now I'm just going to talk as if the only thing in the world were charts, which is not true. But yeah, let's go back over to the S&P 500. Really, really good stuff. All right, we cracked above this 4-day resistance. Everything we were talking about last night is now playing out. And you're back above resistance, right? We had highs over here in last September, lows in last December, twice. It was your resistance from the beginning of February, and now you're back above it. So this is your highest close on the S&P 500, I think since January 14th. So, because we did close slightly higher than February 2nd's close. So that's really, really, really good. We're back above this major inflection zone for the S&P. Let's go down to lower time frames. This sets you up for a pretty easy move to $460 on the SPY, if you can also crack some lower time frame resistance, which is right here. So we pretty much closed testing this supply line from your January 20th peak to February 2nd peak. You can break this tomorrow. You could have a pretty easy move up to this next area of resistance. So just take it level by level. There's no need to try and always predict the future. Pick out your levels, and if it breaks above one level, it could go to the next. If it breaks under a level, it can fall to the next, right? It's really that simple with stuff like this. So if we reject these general areas tomorrow, puts could be played down to the gap fill level. If we break out of this area tomorrow, then we could be in for a larger move to maybe test 460, see how it reacts there. So it really just depends on what the numbers look like. But from a technical standpoint, this is exactly what you want to be doing. You just spent 4 days closing above the 200-day moving average, and now you're finally breaking out to the upside. So that looks good. The Russell had a huge day today. Okay, first of all, we broke out of this inverse head and shoulders, right, that I was talking about last night on stream. You're also back in your range. You have sprung back above the range you were in for the past year. So you broke down from your range. After breaking down, you sold off another 9%, and now you're back in the range like it never happened. So if you can hold above 204, maybe you fill this gap at some point at 203, but overall, if you can sustain price action above 204, this could usher in a nice little wave of reversals for small caps that are on the floor, in my opinion, some of them. So that's the Russell 2000, very simple. I'd say next resistance is around 209, and support is probably your gap fill at 203. Really anywhere in this green box could be support. It was your previous resistance and a gap fill. So, puts down to fill this area could be a play, and then if we get down to this area, maybe calls off that support. If you have some like 5-minute, 15-minute bullish divergence intraday, like who knows? It opens up a lot of potential. So that is good. The QQQ closed pretty much testing the 200-day moving average. It broke out of the descending broadening wedge for the second time now. Also took out a 4-day resistance. So breakout day across the board. You still have to test that 200-day moving average tomorrow. And the NASDAQ also broke out. And now, again, there's no certainty that you're just going to keep shooting up, but you have very, very easy areas of support right at your gap fills. Because again, those gaps occurred at make or break area. So now if you fall down to fill those gaps, you're filling a gap which could be a support in the first place, and also you're looking at previous resistances that could flip into support. So same thing. Even if you do sell off in the next couple of days on the NASDAQ, let's say CPI numbers are not good, a decent area where you could look for a bounce. And if you break that area, an area where you could just, say, okay, this might be for real, another time to go back down and maybe double bottom. It just makes it a lot easier to chart things. So I do prefer the price action today. It made it a little bit tougher to day trade today because by the time the market was open, everything was already so green, and there wasn't much continuation volume until like the late afternoon. So intraday, the price action wasn't the best, but overall, what you got today could really, really help make the next few days really easy to trade. So that's your clear area of support for the NASDAQ. And then finally, the ARK ETF, still in the falling wedge. Not much of any change today. Maybe a little bit of resistance around 77, but if it breaks that, it could head back up to the upper 80s. So that's the market. It's pretty simple. I think the 10-year pulled back a little bit today. It's still just testing these highs from 2019. We'll see what happens there. The VIX is under the $20.50 support we talked about last night, which is good. Next level is 1925, your 200-day moving average. Hang Seng Index is flat currently. Gold continuing higher. Gold's been very, very strong lately. The dollar going sideways still. Lumber pulling back a little bit. So that's really it for the market today. Nothing too crazy. IMEI repair says AMC calls were amazing. My Facebook call paid 120%. Awesome. Yeah, Facebook made my week. Like, my week's already made with Facebook. Facebook was a really, really good move today. And go back to last night's stream. I said, go back and I don't want to pull up the clip, but I literally said if there's any area where Facebook could bottom, this is pretty much the area you're looking at. Otherwise, it could move down to 197. I literally said just that last night. We talked about Facebook last night. I said I was holding Facebook calls last night. I alerted Facebook to premium members and everybody that's not in premium yesterday. I tweeted about Facebook yesterday. I talked about it on the stream yesterday. So I think with all those things combined, I could say I called the bottom on Facebook for now, a local bottom. Who knows, maybe eventually break that low from yesterday at some point, but for now, the bottom has been put in, at least locally, and it's really nice to see. So yeah, we'll come back to it. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but great stuff there. Steve says, is there still a way to type into live chat while watching the stream in full screen? I have to drop into live chat section, which is not great for paying attention to the stream. Maybe somebody else in the chat could help answer that question for Steve. I'm not too sure. Max says Facebook calls were a daymaker, definitely. What's up, Seek? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream. So, yeah, let's talk about the swings first, then we'll go into other stuff. So, starting off, AMC, boom. I told you all last night that I did alert this as a swing trader premium members. I didn't show you all these risk to reward boxes. It kind of looked something like this last night when I went over it on stream. But I did tell you that there was a swing alert to premium members yesterday, and in one day, it hit the first target and almost the second target of the swing. So, yeah, that's really cool. It's been a crazy week in premium so far. We'll go over it in a little bit, but I mean, you can't even see the percentages here. Let's see if I can do it like this. But yeah, I mean, it's been lights out so far this week. The sale ends on Saturday, and let's see, the MU calls, even if you're not in premium, I share that in the updates on the options channel. Facebook calls, I talked about nonstop on Twitter and the Discord. AMC, I talked about on Twitter and the Discord. Fisker, Twitter and the Discord. SPY, I always share intraday charts. Like pretty much these last 5 trades, I shared them in premium, but I talked about them elsewhere. I just didn't share that I was alerting it elsewhere. So literally just pay attention. Like, I'm trying to do as much as I can to help everybody out, but almost 1,000% in potential profits so far this week. It's been a really good week. And yeah, AMC. I don't want to click on that, but really good start for this swing. It's already up 23%, 24% since the entry yesterday, and it all started right here. And I tweeted this out. Before I even shared a swing, I tweeted this out. It looked just like this. I said AMC is testing a breakout right on this candle. It was $15.15, and AMC did it. I mean, just boom. It's crazy. So yeah, this actually surprised me. I thought it would maybe pull back a little bit here intraday, but it even took out this little resistance zone over here, which is very impressive. It closed above in the final 30 minutes. So that sets up potentially continuation. This is your first day really breaking out of not only the supply line, but also this resistance over here. Should still just be the start for AMC. It sounds crazy to say that because it's already up 30% in 2 days, but we've seen AMC go up thousands of percent in the same year. I mean, it happened once. I don't know if it happened before that, but it's AMC. Who knows what will happen? And so far, just like Facebook, another bottom was called. These things, it's not me being the smartest person in the world. It's not me trying to have a huge ego. It's just me trying to tell you what learning this for a good amount of time can do for you. It helps you find areas of value to buy and to sell. That's really all it does. Gives you probability, gives you an edge. That's what TA is. And there you go, AMC. Nice start to that swing, but good start to other swings as well. All right, Fisker is up 8%. This was alerted to all of you yesterday, and you broke out of this 1220 level. You can see it's been resistance on a few days over here. You even broke out of this 1 hour inverse head and shoulders we talked about last night on Fisker. So nice breakout day for Fisker, up 7% today. Good start to the swing, nothing else to say. It broke out, it did exactly what you wanted it to do. That's a great start. CLOV also up 4% today pretty much. And CLOV is very quietly potentially breaking out right now. And you know, there's a couple different ways you could try the supply line, but if you connect your high from June 24th to your high from September 7th, which also pretty much lines up with your high from February 2nd, you have broken out very quietly today. I didn't put this in the Discord. I didn't share this on Twitter yet. The stream heard it first. CLOV might be very quietly breaking out of a pattern it's been in since June, okay? Remember, the 22 people watching the stream right now heard it here first. If this goes up to $5-6 in a month or two, you can all say you heard it here first. But again, it's just one little day above the supply line. You need a lot more confirmation. We have to see how earnings go. You're probably gonna need some catalysts. A breakout's just a breakout. A lot of people make a breakout into something that it shouldn't be. It's just a breakout. It's a technical thing that happens. It can mean a lot of things. It can mean nothing. That's what it is. So yeah, 1 hour chart's acting pretty nicely. Next resistance I see is about $3, psychological level, obviously, but also your low from over here, your high from here, and your high from here. So that's really it. These are all your levels on CLOV to the upside up until 555. So if you want to take a screenshot, go for it. That's how I'm viewing it. Apart from that, the BABA swing was up 3-4% today. This is a weekly chart that I'm really looking at. There's no point in updating how it's looking day to day unless there's like something major that happens. But yeah, this trade was down 17% at one point. Now it's only down 4%. So very nice recovery for this swing. And then SPLK finally starting to do something. It still has to test a little bit more of resistance from these highs over here, but it swings back up 5%. So yeah, everything is looking pretty good right now. I don't know if I'm the only one that cares, but swings are doing well, options are doing well, and we've only just started reversing to the upside for the market. So imagine what happens when a lot of these other stocks that got destroyed also start going up. There's still an endless amount of stocks that could be swung. I don't know the best way to put it. So good start, but we still need to wait for a lot more confirmation, and it's just good to know that we're already having such a nice week and we've just started bouncing on the Russell and the ARK ETF. I mean, look at this. This is all the ARK has done. I mean, if we zoom out, you can barely even see this bounce for a lot of these mid-cap and growth stocks. So imagine if you just get a common retrace, right? If you just get a 50% retrace of this falling wedge, imagine the type of opportunity that this would mean for mid-cap growth stocks and swings. So that is cool. That's really it for the swings today. Let's go over some day trades from today. We're going to start off with the frustrating. I mean, today really wasn't amazing for day trades. Really, today was, all right, how do I put this? So from the trades I alerted today, nothing really crazy happened. You could have walked away with profits on everything. So really today was just kind of me messing up for the first time in a while, I guess, when it comes to day trades. But today, really what was good about today was trades I shared yesterday. So if you're not in premium, I shared Facebook calls yesterday. Those went up over 100% today. So basically from the calls I alerted yesterday, that's why today was so good. Or from the calls I alerted today, it could have went either way, and I'll go into that. But yeah, to everybody not in premium, Facebook could have really paid today if you got in yesterday. Even if you're in premium, I also alerted Facebook literally at the bottom to all of you yesterday in premium. Let me see if I could find it through all these profits right here. So like literally at the bottom, 217 on Facebook, I alerted it. Facebook went up to 233 today. So that was cool. What else did I alert yesterday? MU calls I alerted yesterday in premium, but I also put it right over here in this channel. And we really need to talk. We're going to talk about MU first. Oh my gosh. Okay, yesterday morning before the market even opened, to everybody in the Discord, I said, first thing I typed when I woke up, I believe, I just looked through my charts and I just saw MU looking very, very interesting. I said, might play calls in MU above 82 bucks. Let's start with MU, okay? Let's go down to the 5-minute. Look at this chart. This is where I put that Discord message that I might play calls above 82 bucks. This is where that message was sent, okay? Right before the open, this was the open. It spiked up at the open. I was trying to get coffee, so I missed it, but then it back tested. And then over here, I alerted it to premium members. So these calls ran 420%, okay? Crazy. I mean, I literally sold like in these areas. I was just selling like an intraday day trade yesterday. I'm happy that a lot of other people could have been in this trade, but I'm also very frustrated that I didn't. I usually scale out of my trades, right? I actually did not really. I had like 2 sells on this trade. So yeah, this ran crazy today. That was cool. This could have paid you. So that was what was really good about today. A lot of the calls from yesterday did very, very well. I shared SPY calls in premium yesterday. Right over here, there were the 445 calls expiring today. The price when I shared them was 446, and SPY went up to 457 today. So I alerted those calls at 446, which was what? Right here. This is where I alerted the calls, the SPY calls. And then the SPY did this. It went up the next day, 2.5%. So those calls ran, and I talked about these last night on stream. Those ran 250%. The Facebook calls, whatever. So that was what was really good about the day trades today. And there was some new alerts today. So first, I alerted NCLH calls in the morning, 9:40 a.m. They were $1.14. And what happened was, if we go over to NCLH, so I must have alerted the calls around over here. They went up, I think, like 12%, like in a few minutes, and then they just kind of started going sideways. And then what happened was a little bit of like a wedge started forming, right? So if I just make it look like this, you can see what I'm talking about. A little bit of a wedge started forming, and as soon as I saw it breaking down right over here, I put this message in the Discord. Where is it? All right, I said, I'm personally breaking even on NCLH. We'll look for re-entry later. So technically it was like 2% up since the entry yesterday was at 114. And I sent that message right over here. And then it did end up selling off like 1% lower. So those calls probably dropped 10, 15%. And then later on it rallied. So those did actually from the alert price over here till over here on 20%. But this was pretty much the story today. I alerted 3 different things. One of them was in premium, which was this. The break even did help for like an hour, and you could have gotten at a lower entry and then made more profit, but it's just a messy trade. It could have easily, if I just did nothing, I would have just waited for it to go up 20% first. It would have been a winning trade very easily. So that was NCLH. And then I shared 2 calls outside of premium. These were, yeah. So I shared Russell 2000 calls, probably some around here. I think it was on one of the VWAP breakouts at some point over there. And Russell, after the major 1 hour chart breakout, right, it just decided to go sideways for most of the day. And it was going sideways, going sideways, going sideways. And then it had this nice little breakout, and then the Russell calls were probably up like 10%. And then it started pulling back right in like the start of power hour. And that's what kind of scared me a little bit, because I saw everything was pretty much starting to pull back at like 3 o'clock. And we have CPI numbers tomorrow morning. So I was thinking, you know, there might be a little bit of a sell-off into the close with people just trying to go back over to cash to see what the CPI numbers look like. And that kind of freaked me out a bit. I saw that we were also flushing pretty much on this candle. We were flushing back under, you know, at first I was seeing if we could just hold that previous resistance as support like we did on this candle. But then when we started flushing, I said, all right, break even trade, not financial advice. And then it shot back up into the close. And I think from the entry to where it closed, you could have made like 15% profit if you sold like 1 minute before the close on Russell. So another, you know, it wasn't a winning or a losing trade, but it could have easily been a winning trade. That was pretty much the story today from the day trades. And same thing with Apple. So I alerted Apple calls. Let's get the timestamp. Apple calls were alerted at 11:36 in the morning, which was, I think, right here. So pretty much over here, Apple calls were alerted. Apple went sideways for the whole day, and then this fake out happened. So the fake out at the end of the day just kind of screwed over all the day trades today. But if you just did nothing and you didn't overthink it like I did today, you could have walked away with 15% on IWM, 20% on Apple, and for premium members, 20% on NCLH. That was really the deal today. NCLH wasn't a losing trade. Russell wasn't a losing trade, but they could have been technically, they were kind of winning trades, but I could have marked them winning trades, but I wasn't able to because of my own overthinking. And then Apple as well. This could have went either way. You know, when it stopped out here, it stopped out, and then it shot back up. Like, it was just really funny, but frustrating. But hey, it's much easier to deal with frustrating trades when the sheet for the week looks like this. So things happen, but overall it matters how everything looks all together. So that was kind of what happened today. And yeah, only 1 trade alert in premium this week was red for options. Only 1 trade was, there was only been 2 outside of premium, but 1 was red, and only 1 swing was red. And this was alerted like a month ago or something. So almost everything's been green this week. So it is what it is, but hopefully you got some education from that at least, and still keeping an eye on Apple here. We talked about this inverse head and shoulders last night. It might have been testing a breakout into the close. So Apple still could have room to the upside for sure. It depends on the CPI numbers. Same thing for the Russell 2000. I mean, these technically look the same since when I alerted them. It was just the ups and the downs towards the end of the day. It just messes with your risk management system. So it happens, right? You have risk management, and 9 out of 10 times it saves you from taking big losses, and then 1 out of 10 times it's going to screw you over a little bit. It's what it is. So yeah, that was pretty much the price action today. Still waiting to see if Tesla can crack above its resistance tomorrow or the day after. RIOT was up 7% today. I told all of you that I was keeping an eye on RIOT last night on stream. GameStop was up 8% today. I told you all last night on stream, above 119, go back and watch the stream, all right? I said last night on stream, above 119, don't be surprised if GameStop really starts going. So it broke it today and it closes above it today. Very interesting. I think we looked at DraftKings last night. That was up 6% today. I showed you all NVIDIA and AMD testing breakouts yesterday. NVIDIA was up 6%, AMD was up 4%. So really nice price action across the board, and that is the recap from today. Futures are slightly red, down 0.25% pretty much, and crypto's kind of going sideways last hour. So that's what happened today. But yeah, if you were in Facebook, we didn't even talk about Facebook. Let's talk about Facebook now. So Facebook, I mean, I didn't know what else I could have done. I really don't, right? Between this, the original Facebook calls yesterday morning, me literally typing this in the chat saying Facebook legit has a lot of potential as long as you only put in what you're willing to risk, patience might pay. I was trying to talk about Facebook as much as I could, and it did an amazing job. So I shared them outside of premium, I shared them in premium right over here, literally at the bottom. Like this was pretty much the bottom. This was 217. What was the bottom on Facebook? 217, 216, like literally at the bottom. I shared Facebook calls. I had a lot of, like, this was one of my largest position sizes in probably a couple weeks. So I had a very nice position in Facebook, and it was a great morning. Facebook gapped up and went up and up and up. And I did take the bulk of my profits around over here. I left a little bit on the table, which did frustrate me a little bit, but it was still one of my nicest days in a long time. So Facebook, it was a good day for anybody who believed in the reversal. So the knife was falling, and thankfully I was able to catch it this time around. But remember, that doesn't work unless your risk is managed, because the original Facebook calls, I mean, they went up 20% in like 6 minutes, and then they went down, 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 down. So like I said, it would have been really tough to deal with this, you know, if you had a regular position size, which is why I said this yesterday. As long as you only put in what you're willing to fully risk, right? So thankfully it all worked out. Boom. You're in premium, you could have made 240%, and outside premium 126% from the entry yesterday to the high today. So good stuff there. And even going into tomorrow, I mean, Facebook just broke out of this downsloping channel, right? So I was alerting calls on Facebook in this area, but now still could have continuation to the upside if it's back test holds. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but yeah. BBIG, I've been seeing some stuff about it on Twitter. I don't know if some, yeah, went up 20%. So who remembers when I talked about that BBIG falling wedge breakout, like literally right over here in the beginning of January? Wish I put out a swing on it. I don't know if there was news or anything. Honestly, I don't see anything that's super technical about the move up today that would have caused a 19% gain. I think, you know, it was nice that it was making higher lows. And then I guess it also broke out a little bit of a wedge here. Let's see if there was any news. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if there was. But yeah, in terms of the chart right now, I'd say 377 is your next resistance. All the levels chart. That's really all I can do on this one right now. But yeah, strong day today. Just pretty much engulfed like the last week of price action. Steve says, what levels would be good for an entry? Price levels that could be support, bounce, support 13. So Fisker, I alerted as a swing yesterday at 1165. Now it's at 1263, so it's pretty much up $1. If it does decide to backtest, it could definitely backtest like 1220-ish. Let me go back to the daily. That was like your resistance from these 3 days over here, so that might be a little bit of area where it could find support. But also, you never know, if the market has a really red day, it could always fill this gap. Anything's possible. I think, you know, not financial advice, but I think in general, these are technical areas that look bullish to me. I can't tell you for sure that this is the bottom. That's why there's stop losses and risk management and everything. So yeah, that's really all I can say. What's up, Eric? What's up, I am Neff, Mr. 90210. Largest position in Facebook, but still lottos. What do you mean by that? Congrats, though. Do you ever air guitar or fist pump after closing a big winner? No, I don't. Medi says, yo champ, you dropped your crown. Amazing start to the week. It's been a great start. Does anyone have issues getting notifications on your phone when Champ puts out alerts? I'm not sure why. There shouldn't be any reason. It can't be on my end. As long as you have Discord and your notifications are enabled, there shouldn't be any reason, because I originally started doing this. I created this thing where I said, if you'd like to be pinged every time there's day trading options ideas, hit the fishing emoji below. I don't know what that does in load, but I still don't even do, because what I'm supposed to do to alert everybody in premium for day trades is do this, right? At premium day trader. But I don't know, I just don't do that because I feel like a lot of people say I don't get alerts. So when I put at everyone, that means literally anybody who has access to premium should get a notification. And same thing, if you're not in premium, even for the swing alerts, I'm doing at everyone, which means literally these 2,082 people here, Discord sends the alerts to. Now, whether that alert pops up on your phone or your desktop or whatnot, that's on you. When I do at everyone, that's literally the most I could do in terms of notifying. So a couple things you could do is go into your settings and then go to notifications, check all that out. Whatever your device you're on, go into your settings on that and make sure your Discord notifications are on, whether it's on your phone or your computer. And yeah. Yeah, the resistance on the Discord is it's crazy. This is like the longest amount of time we've just been stuck at this level. We actually broke above 2100 and then like 20 people left during the 2 weeks I wasn't streaming or, you know, whatever. So hopefully we can get back above that. Even premium's been a little bit of a resistance. We had all-time highs on premium last month and like the last like 3 weeks or whatever. Pretty slow. I think that's just what happens when, you know, I have to take some time off, but yeah. So I don't know what else is in the chat. Did I miss anything? Stream blurry looks good on my end. I think maybe just check on your end what the resolution is. Neff says, got back in on CLOV today after months. It's finally ready in my opinion. Hopefully it is. Steve says, looks like for chat, you now click on the person icon in the bottom right and opens up. Not quite as friendly. Yeah, probably maybe like a YouTube update or something. Yeah, I think I already said hi to Eric. Largest position, I think I already read this. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah, it was a decent sized position. It was my largest position for like options in a while, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out, you know? I've been playing low position for like the last like 3-4 weeks in general, so you know, if those Facebook calls went to zero, which I wouldn't have let them have gone to zero. The only way it would have happened was like if Facebook would have gapped down like 10% today. It would have really, I would have been pinching myself, but it's not like it would have been the end of the world. So yeah, but like pretty much like what I put into those Facebook options would be like my max position size for lottos, which it's been a while since I used the max position size, but I really believed in it. And also I was cost averaging quite a bit. That's another thing. I had a really good average on Facebook. Only thing that I did wrong was sell like a little bit early, like 2 or 3 hours early. And if it shoots up again tomorrow, maybe even a little bit more. But I also did switch out this week's calls to next week's calls in the morning. Opinions on out of the money ETH leaps, like Ethereum leaps. I don't know if you're talking about like a grayscale Ethereum, like actual options on Ethereum. I've never used a brokerage that I can get options for crypto on, but I know there are some. I'm not too familiar with options in general for crypto. I mean, I'm sure it works the same exact way, but that's not really how I look at it. There's a lot of volatility and whatnot. But in terms of leaps, you know, it's up to you. I think you're gonna need a little bit of fundamental analysis there. You know, the thing with crypto is like these charts look completely different month to month. So if you're getting calls a year out, puts, I don't know, you just said a leap, so it could have been puts too. a year out, like things could change so much, so you gotta be heavily monitoring that. So yeah, we already looked at Tesla. I mean, this is your cheat sheet for Tesla. It's really this simple. Boom, that's it. This is Tesla. Shared this on Twitter yesterday. Those are all the big levels in the short term, or not even short term, I guess, midterm. So yeah, hit the like button if you didn't already. All right, let's get to 30 likes. We got 32 people in here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to join the Discord. Link is in the description. It's completely free and everything is there. The premium sale ends on Saturday. If you want to join, there was supposed to be a price raise this month, but there's actually a sale. Okay, so you're getting kind of like a double sale, and the past results are not always indicative of the future, but this is how the week has been going so far in premium for options. And for swings, I think all the swings are green right now. There's only 3 swings. I only started sharing swings again like 2 days ago, but yeah, great week. And this is probably the 11th or 12th green week in a row for this channel right over here. So it's been a while, knock on wood, since a red week for options. Hopefully we keep the streak going. But I think this is about the 3rd month in a row that's just green every single week. And it's not like slightly green. It's like every single week for a while now it's just been a blowout, which I don't know. Maybe I'm playing for the Yankees or something. I don't even know. Are the Yankees still good? So we'll do a few ticker requests, I guess. We got 35 people in here. If you want me to take a look at any asset on TradingView, drop it in the chat. Actually, any asset apart from OTCs, drop it in the chat. Also, don't request any new IPOs or anything up over 30% today, okay? Thank you for 30 likes. See, it's that easy. Why do you even have to ask? You know, just pop in the stream, hit the like button, and we're good. So I don't have to ask anymore, you know? I think I saw a couple tickers earlier. Yeah, Peloton, Firm. I don't know about 1200% shorted. I'm gonna need like an article or something. I don't even know how that works, but we'll take a look at XRT. All right, Peloton. I would just stick to the levels. There's not much you can do from a technical standpoint. It's very, very volatile. These are the 3 major levels I see. I'd probably focus more on just these major levels and fundamentals right now. I mean, there's not much you can do on the daily with technicals. A firm is breaking out right over here. Boom. Broke out yesterday technically. Broke back above a resistance from last summer and also broke out of this downsloping channel. That is good. Roblox. A lot of these stocks are starting to break supply lines. Do not ignore this stuff, okay? There's 34 people in here. You're hearing it, okay? These are how trends reverse. Who knows how long the trend reverses for, but these are how they reverse. Looks like earnings are coming up next week, so keep an eye out for that. But I'd say next major resistance is like 85. You're kind of already slightly above some lows from the past, so yeah. Same thing here on Tattooed Chef. Like when all these stocks are doing the same thing at the same time, it could be very interesting. A descending broadening wedge breakout. Pretty much 14 to 1550 is your resistance zone. That used to be a major support until it broke it. And then of course, if you get to higher levels, give another take request in the chat then. XRT, classic bullish divergence. What were the... All right, 1 second. I want to keep both of those on my watch list. Tattooed Chef, Roblox. All right, XRT, classic bullish divergence. Hasn't broken out of this structure yet, but it's pretty close. Falling wedge. So this looks like a retail ETF. There you go. Looks kind of similar to ARK. eBay, another one. It's not a coincidence that all these look the same. I'm doing pretty much drawing the same thing on all these charts here. They're moving together. So that's how I view eBay. Throw this one onto my watch list. CRSP, another one. Wow. All right, I didn't think we were actually here yet. I haven't done a lot of scanning on daily charts. Mainly this week I've just been day trading. So over the past like because last time I did scanning was on Sunday when I shared the watch list. But I haven't scanned yesterday or today, and between yesterday and today, a lot of technical work has been done for a lot of these stocks. That's very, very good, in my opinion. It's not confirmed. We still need a lot more confirmation. We gotta see how the numbers look tomorrow, but like I haven't seen this in a while, where like almost every single ticker I'm looking at has decent technical potential. And by decent, I mean more than a 55% probability potential. Because I don't know how you actually find the real probabilities of this stuff, but that's just off the top of my head. So yeah, it's very, very interesting that a lot of these stocks are really starting to finally show variables all together at the same time. If you've been watching the stream for a long time, this is a very big indicator I always talk about. When it's hard to find, when you look through 100 tickers and it's hard to find like 2 or 3 that look good, maybe just overall the market's not good. But when you're going through a bunch of charts and almost all of them are giving you nice signals that you use in your technical analysis formula, that could give you a very good signal. And it's happened multiple times in the past for those of you who've been around here for a while. So it's been a while since we had these conditions, and now we have them again. PROG already broke out like 2 days ago, but it's running up to test this little resistance zone. Palantir on another one that just broke out today. Like, you can't make this stuff up. All right, 27 people in here. Pay attention. So we could be setting up for some amazing swings, and it's been like 3 or 4 months since we had a really, really good round of swings. We had a nice little 2 weeks in December, but it's been a while since we've had like something like this. And a lot of people who joined within the last 6-7 months do not know what something like this look. We can barely see. Let me see if I could, you know, come on. So who knows? I mean, this is life-changing opportunity, and we're now at levels that I haven't seen since I've started trading on a lot of these stocks. So, I mean, and the thing about a lot of these stocks is, one, they sold off on low volume, so it doesn't take a lot of volume for them to go back up, and also they just went straight down, which means they didn't develop resistance and stuff. You need to kind of be going sideways to test the areas for multiple days, but a lot of these stocks went straight down for 2, 3, 4 months. So there's really not much resistance for a while on a lot of these stocks. Like, look at Palantir, there's not much until 17. I already put that there. This one has a gap fill around 65 bucks. I'd probably just go with levels here. And then another breakout. Descending broadening wedge. And yeah, Lord Bogendorf shared a bunch of education on Elliott waves today. So make sure to go check that out, and all the other channels that he's put a lot of work into. All right, all this education is available to you. The link is in the description. It's free to join. TLRY on the weekly, wow, just hit the oversold mark. It looks like, yep, just tapped it. Classic bullish divergence. I think, wow. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And like, the thing is, like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself because it's been very, very long time that a lot of these stocks have been selling off, and who knows if they'll continue to or not. But like, I don't think anybody understands where we are right now. And you hear, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, but a lot of people already disagree with it. But you hear Cathie Wood saying things like deep value territory. I don't have the screenshot. there's this chart which shows, I think this is it pretty much. Kind of. All right. So take a look at these two. All right. Historically, when you get to these multiples, when you get to PE ratios that look like this, when you get to valuations for a lot of these types of stocks, overall as sectors, as mid-cap and small-cap sectors, historically, you've seen life-changing amount of money come after that. All the time. Now, not on all these stocks. There's always so after bubble, right, there's gonna be a lot of stocks that die forever. And that's gonna happen to a lot of these SPACs and speculative names from 2020 and 2021. They're probably never gonna go back to where they were, or at least for maybe decades, until they completely change the company. Because they weren't supposed to be that high in the first place. But for a lot of these stocks, in the last 4, 5, 6 months that just got hit because everything was just getting hit, apart from the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. I mean, don't be surprised. I really wish I could make people care about stuff like this, but honestly, the way that the market and emotions work is that nobody cares really until you actually start going up a lot. But if just one person's listening and you could be ahead of the next crazy wave and that changes your life forever, then I'm happy. But yeah, TLRY looks very nice on a weekly, and these things are going to take time. You're not going to go back up to where you were in the past in one day. This is going to take a while for a lot of these names, but patience pays. IPOF, I'd probably just focus on the fundamentals. It's a SPAC. I don't know what the deal is with this still. I mean, just look into the company. Yeah, there's nothing really much I should do on the chart apart from these levels. GGPI, interesting. Classic bullish divergence. Another breakout of a supply line. Maybe you kind of look at it like a wedge breakout. I'd say resistance is right under 12 bucks pretty much. And yeah, that's how I look at it. And then support around 10. Be time to start looking at pot stocks again. Classic bullish divergence got a little bit too deep for bad. It's a little bit too perfect of a low, but hey, you're bouncing off of your previous all-time lows on the CTF, and now you're back above 1061, which is a support from 2020, pretty much the whole entire year after the COVID crash. You're reclaiming a spring from that level. This is going on the watch list. So I honestly wasn't prepared for this tonight. You know, I usually prepare for these streams and I actually tell you all ahead of time that it's one of those streams where I'm just going crazy about how things look. And honestly, the last like 2 of them were pretty off. Before the last 2 of them, we had like 4 in a row that were really, really good in 2020 and 2021. But this is one of those streams, and hopefully, probably the next time I'm going to be live is Sunday. I can focus a little bit more on how things are looking. But we just got to cross a couple hurdles with the Fed and inflation and interest rates, and that's not going to be easy. But it might be a scenario where you get nice rotations for a lot of these names, but we'll see. So yeah, we had a stock market crash for, you're right, for almost half of the stocks in the market. We had crashes where they dropped to crash percentages from their highs. So we'll see what happens. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for watching the stream. Hit the like button if you didn't. And the last 15, these taker requests, like the taker request segment of the stream was very interesting. Really, really good requests to everybody who dropped takers in the chat. Sorry to the ones I missed. But yeah, I'll be live again on Sunday night. And next week should be a normal week, Sunday to Thursday, and it's going to be at 8:30 EST every night. Join the Discord, okay? And this is the final reminder, okay? I'm sitting here and telling all of you that we're getting potential opportunities like this, okay? Sitting here and telling all of you this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Whether this takes 2 years or 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, I'm not going anywhere. But if you want a first-hand view, that's probably not the best way to put it, of how I'm looking at these things day by day, this is your final chance, okay, to get into premium before the sale ends on Saturday. That's your final reminder. I don't want to have an ego with these things, and there's been many times in the past where I've messed up, but I want to make sure that you're putting yourself in a position where you can be ready for crazy things. And honestly, if you don't want to join premium, I need you to keep watching the streams every single night, okay? I'm gonna do everything I can to take this day by day, break down all the levels. But you need to be educated first. You can't just walk into stuff like this without education. All right. So whatever you got to do to get the education, you need to. These are the times where you need to be learning. Okay. So that when you get the crazy opportunities, you're fully prepared. Mitch Ray says something like, you know, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Right. Luck. A lot of people say a lot of similar things I listen to. You have to be ready. Most people are never ready. So this is just the one thing I want to tell you. If you can make yourself get ready, you don't lose anything. You're always learning. All right, have a good night. Hopefully some of that gibberish made sense. Check out the links in the description. Join the Discord. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'll be live on Sunday night. Peace out.